The siege of Balochistan is over. Pakistan's military has retaken control of the hijacked train. But the toll is heavy. More than 340 hostages were rescued, another 21 were killed. That is the official death toll, 21 people killed. Some reports say it could be higher, closer to 28 or 29 people. And we've been telling you what happened here. The attack took place on Tuesday. Militants targeted a passenger train in Balochistan. They bombed and hijacked the train, after which they held the passengers hostage. Nearly 450 of them, 450 passengers. Take a look at how the attack unfolded. The attack was claimed by a Baloch separatist group, a group called the BLA, the Baloch Liberation Army. They wanted Pakistan to free Baloch political prisoners, but before that, they were eliminated. The attackers were eliminated. This operation lasted around 30 hours. It involved hundreds of Pakistani soldiers and helicopters. Of course, this is all pretty recent, so the country is still in shock. We're hearing more and more accounts of what exactly happened. Some of the hostages were not exactly rescued. They fled themselves. They jumped off the train and walked all the way to the nearest railway station.
उन्होंने बोला अभी ये भागेंगे नहीं उन्होंने पहले भी ये बोला था कि अगर तुम भागोगे तो हम शूट कर देंगे तो सुबह 5 बजे हम उधर से भागे और पीछे से उन्होंने गोलियां भी बहुत चलाई
पहले हमारे शेल फेंके गए हैं ट्रेन के ऊपर उसके बाद हम पे फिर फायरिंग की गई है फायरिंग तकरीबन तीन घंटे चलती रही है ठीक है उसके बाद उन्होंने हमें निकाला है अंदर ट्रेन से उतारा है उनको बोला है कि अलग अलग हो जाओ सराइकी पंजाबी बलोची पठान ये सब अलग अलग हो जाए जौन से इलाके का जो बंदा है वो अलग अलग हो जाए तो उन्होंने ज़्यादा जो है ना टॉर्चर वो पंजाबियों पे की है
Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif visited Balochistan today. He reviewed the rescue and medical efforts. He also expressed shock and grief at the attack. But the question is, what happens next? What will be the government's next move, or rather the army's? As always, Pakistan is playing the blame game. They say the Baloch militants are being supported by the Taliban. They claim the BLA, or the Baloch Liberation Army, was taking orders from Kabul, apparently with a satellite phone. Now, this is entirely possible. Experts have been talking about a Taliban-Baloch nexus, so we'll give them that. But Pakistan did not stop there. Their foreign ministry is also blaming India. Listen in.
In our region, unfortunately, we have many forces against peace who do not want to see Pakistan reap the dividends of its unprecedented and sincere efforts in counter-terrorism. Terrorists were in direct communication with Afghanistan-based planners throughout the incident. We know how India has been trying to destabilize its neighboring countries.
We haven't heard from India yet, but the Taliban have responded. Let me quote from their statement. This is what the Taliban said. We categorically reject baseless allegations by Pakistan and urge the Pakistani side to focus on resolving their own security and internal problems instead of such irresponsible remarks. In other words, the Taliban are saying, don't blame us for your problems, fix them yourself. Pakistan clearly wants to bring in a foreign angle here, whether it's Afghanistan or India. They want someone else to blame, and the logic is quite clear. If you blame foreign players, you can hide your own failures. You see, Balochistan is full of potential. It is home to resources like coal, natural gas, and gold. It is Pakistan's biggest province, also its richest in terms of natural resources. Yet, Balochistan has been treated like a stepchild. Look at the numbers. Pakistan's poverty rate is around 40%, but in Balochistan it is 71%. Pakistan's literacy rate is around 60%, but in Balochistan it is just 40%. Pakistan's economy grew by around 4.2% since the year 2000, and Balochistan just 2.1%. Do you see the vast disparity here? Despite having so much wealth, Balochistan has been ignored. It has lagged behind. Add to that the political problems. Balochistan never wanted to be part of Pakistan. In the 1940s, it was made up of tribal states. During partition, Islamabad signed a treaty of friendship with these tribal states. It did not force Balochistan to accede, but later on, Islamabad made a U-turn. In 1948, Pakistan's army marched into Balochistan. They forced the tribal states to accede. In simple words, it was a betrayal. And this happened some 80 years back. But for Balochistan, the wounds are still fresh. Baloch groups do not accept Pakistan's control, and the army has used violence to repel them. The Pakistan army has carried out brutal crackdowns, forced disappearances, and extrajudicial killings. The question is, after this train attack, will Pakistan reassess its strategy? Well, not from the looks of it. The army says the rules of the game have changed after this attack, which can only mean one thing: more violence. The army was already using excessive force, but now they could go even further. We cannot begin to imagine what that would look like.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogan, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically, in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.